Welcome to the core yoga practice. Sitting up nice and tall, starting to bring that awareness into your body, taking some long, slow, deep breaths in and out. Growing tall from the ground up, lengthening through the crown of your head, easeful through your shoulders and your jaw. Preparing for some gentle side bends, so breathing in, lifting the arm up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, side bending across as though you're fitting your body between two panes of glass, keeping your sit bone connected as you extend long through the fingertips, bringing that lovely gentle stretch into the side of the body and the strength into the other side. Taking one hand across to the opposite knee, the other hand behind the tail, sitting tall, and then as you breathe out, easefully rotating, gentle seated twist. Coming around to your other side. Breathing in when you're ready to return to center. Coming to all fours, kneeling with your knees underneath your hips and the heels of your hands under your shoulders, anchoring through the small finger edge of your hands, taking an inhale, and as you breathe out, tailbone down, crown of the head to the mat into cat. Inhaling to come into your cow pose, lengthening the front body, and then exhaling to come into your cat. Flexing and extending the spine, just warming it up. Returning to that neutral space with the head aligned with the spine, thinking long as you extend the opposite leg away from the opposite hand, keeping the crown and the tailbone relatively well aligned in your bird dog. Moving with the breath. For more stability, you may like to exhale as you lengthen away and inhale to return, or to create that sensation of length and space, breathing in as you extend hand and foot away from each other. Taking the sit bones right back towards the heels, lengthening through the fingertips into child's pose, taking a couple of nice long slow breaths here into the body. Sending the breath into the back of the ribs. As you exhale, you may take the tailbone a little closer to the heels and really lengthen the back chain of the body. Returning to all fours, kneeling again, tucking the toes under, just lifting the knees an inch off the mat and hovering there as you breathe, waking up those core muscles. Bringing the knees back onto the mat to prepare for side arm balance. So bringing the foot around to the edge of the mat, heel of the hand directly under the shoulder. There's an option here to lift the top leg or keep that top leg grounded. And again, that sensation of fitting the body between two panes of glass. Breathe easily and with awareness as you hold the posture for 3 to 5 breaths, and then we'll switch sides. So again, the heel of the grounded hand underneath the shoulder, long through the side of the body. Crown of the head stays aligned with the rest of the spine, and the option there to lift the top leg to hip height. Coming back to all fours, kneeling, and we'll take a downward facing dog, lifting the hips high and back, and you may like to pedal the feet, lifting one heel and pressing the other towards the mat a little closer to stretch into the back of your legs. Maybe give your head a little bit of a yes and a no, shake out any tension from your neck. And then on an inhale, lengthening forward into a plank. Option here to bring the knees down if you like. Keeping the crown aligned with the tailbone, nice and energetic through the heels. Grounding through the hands to lift the sides of the chest away from the mat. As you breathe in, bringing the chest towards the mat, elbows towards the feet. You can stay on the knees, or option to bring the knees off the mat for a few push-ups. Use the out breath to press away, staying long through the body, Coming all the way to the mat now, sliding the elbows directly underneath the shoulders, grounding through the pubic bone, lifting the pubic bone up underneath the belly button in a sense, and bringing that lovely stretch into the lower abdomen in Sphinx. Coming all the way to the mat now to prepare for locust. So keeping that energy of the pubic bone lifting towards the belly button, lengthening through the toes and the crown, sending them to opposite sides of the room, lifting the arms, flattening the shoulder blades onto the back and bringing the chest forward as you breathe. Bring the hands back under the shoulders and press up, pressing back into your downward facing dog again, taking a couple of breaths here. Inhaling, lengthening into a plank, and then we'll just take a couple of shoulder taps. So working to keep the body relatively still here as you tap the opposite shoulder with the opposite hand, and there is that option to bring the knees down if you like. Remember to anchor through the small finger edge of the hands to support the wrists and spread the weight evenly across the hands, and pressing down through the earth to help bring that nice energy into the back. And we can take the plank posture and up the ante a little by bringing one knee at a time to just kiss the mat and lift back up, or we can go with two knees. Coming into the heart posture, so keeping the knees and the sit bones aligned, walking the hands forward to rest the third eye space to the earth, nice and long from the fingertips to the tailbone, breathing in to enjoy that stretch into the chest and the arms, and then bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders directly for a forearm plank, energizing your thighs, option to come down to the knees if you need to. Keeping the breath steady and full. You can stay there or gently rock back and forward on the toes, just for something a little bit different. Maintaining the head to align with the rest of your spine. Moving with awareness, really honoring what your body is telling you as you move, choosing options for how your body is feeling today, and if anything feels a little bit untoward, then please feel free to take rest at any time, treating your body with that loving kindness. Coming into dolphin, so elbows connected to the mat as well as the forearms, as we press down, using that energy to lift the hips and take the head away from the floor, bringing the knees back down, stepping forward to come into a lunge, being aware of the tailbone lengthening down, pubic bone lifting a little. You can bring the arms up towards space if you like, otherwise keeping the hands to the hips, bringing that stretch into the front of the hips, and then rocking back gently as you peel the front foot off the mat, coming into a reverse lunge to create that little bit of a stretch into the back of the legs. Switching sides, hands can stay to the hips if you like. Otherwise, invoking the energy of spaciousness by looking up and bringing the arms overhead, just making the heart work a little harder to pump the blood up towards the fingertips. Hands to the floor and peeling the front foot off the mat to come into your reverse lunge. Rocking forward. Coming back to bring the knees together and flip the legs around to come to Seated to prepare for Bodh Navasana. So many options here. We can keep the feet grounded and the hands grounded as well. We can support ourselves by holding the backs of the knees or take the hands away and make it a little more challenging. So again, listening to your body, choosing a posture to match what your body needs. Adding some gentle rotation, so keeping the hips forward, rotating from the waist, opening out to one side on the inhale and then coming back to the center. Option as well here to lift the feet. Great job. Give yourself a big hug, ease out of your hip flexors for a moment. Coming into our bound angle pose. Soles of your feet together. You can pick up your seat if you like and shuffle a little closer towards the heels. Maybe bring a bit of movement here. A bit of fluidity into the body, and then guide the legs back together. Shuffle forward towards the top of the mat. Use some core strength and awareness to roll down onto your back, bringing your heels up to align with your sit bones, close enough so you can graze your heels with your middle finger. As you inhale, lengthen the tailbone a little towards the heels, and as you exhale, peeling up to come up to a bridge to around about your middle chest level or slightly higher. Option to stay there and bring that lovely awareness to your breath, otherwise lifting one foot and then the other, keeping both of your hips at the same height, pointing the toes, energizing your thighs as you march out through your feet, just to add that little bit of extra challenge for each individual glute. And then rolling down one vertebra at a time to come back onto the earth and bringing your knees into your chest. Just giving yourself a little bit of a massage using the floor beneath you as a prop. And we'll prepare for some core work on our backs. So stacking your knees above the hips, moving through the thigh bone. So keeping the pelvis anchored and still, relaxed and easeful through the shoulders, chin to the chest. For stability, as you extend the leg away using the out breath and bringing the leg back with the in breath. So taking that the legs a little bit longer makes the movement a little stronger. Otherwise, that option to keep the knees bent at that 90-degree angle. And we'll come into some chest lifts, so bringing the feet to the mat if you like, hammocking the head into the hands, keeping your elbows wide, inhaling, lengthening the crown, and as you exhale, lifting up to around about your shoulder blade tip level, using the out breath to support the movement, the inhale to come back down. And again, to up the ante, we can bring the legs so the knees stack over the hips, legs at that 90-degree angle. Coming into some rotation now, so keeping one knee bent and extending the other leg long, or you can keep that knee bent and just kiss the floor again with the toes with that 90-degree angle, bringing the opposite shoulder across to the opposite knee as you exhale, and breathing in to return to center, keeping your elbows in your peripheral relatively wide, and then breathing in to rest to the mat, hugging the knees in for that gentle massage. Working some more rotation into the core. So again, knees stacked above the hips, hands just resting to the mat by your side, out from the body. As you inhale, dropping the knees together across to one side as far as you can maintain that connection with the earth, with the shoulders. And we can use different options here to help intensify the exercise, extending one leg out at the end range of the movement or both feet, or we can stay with extended legs here. So using the breath to support you through the movement, the out breath to draw the legs back to center, the inhale to take them across. Great job, well done. Coming to some gentle stretches now, so a reclining pigeon to bring that lovely space into the outer thigh, crossing one leg above the knee, flexing that foot, guiding that knee away from you to help support the stretch, and placing that opposite foot to the mat, just bringing a gentle stretch into your hamstrings, taking a hold of the back of the leg wherever it meets. Energetic perhaps a little through the thigh, the front of the thigh, to support the knee joint as you do stretch in that hamstring stretch there. Breathing through the stretches here. Allow yourself to surrender a little to gravity as you start to wind down. Feeling the back body melt into the earth beneath you. The front body open and receptive, bringing your knees to align with your hips, keeping the legs together, dropping across to one side of the mat with both the knees while the opposite shoulder stays in contact with the earth. Option to look along that opposite arm to bring the rotation into your neck spine, or just keeping your head aligned with the rest of the spine, whatever feels good for you today. Great job everyone. I hope you enjoyed the practice today. Bringing the feet back to the mat for a reclining bound angle, soles of the feet together, and just allow your knees to drop out to the side, bringing space to the inner thighs. You might like to focus on breathing here into the belly, allowing the diaphragm to support you well with your breath, and then extending your legs out long if you like, or you can stay in the bound angle for as long as you like for a few moments of Shavasana.